This video is going to be a little harsh. One thing that drives me insane is when people tell me I could never eat like you eat.
I can't do carnivore. I need to have sugar. I need to have my energy drinks. I need to have my Starbucks. I need to have my snacks.
I just love my food too much. Well, this guy right here, I used to be that way. And if I could go back in time and tell myself something, it would be a very harsh message. Do you really believe that when you're 73 years old, taking that last breath of air, the very last breath you take, your heartbeat beats its last beat, you're gonna say, I'm happy with that decision, that I ate that junk food and that I chose that junk food over my spouse and over my children and over everything. Your health is the only thing you have in this world. Without good health, you don't have your spouse, you don't have your children, you don't have anything. When you're in the throes of a massive heart attack and it feels like there's an elephant sitting on your chest and you're gasping for air, and it's possibly the end of your life, you may survive the heart attack. Understand this. You wanted this. You chose this. You said, I would rather eat that food and suffer the consequence. 80% of the diseases that humanity dies with are completely avoidable.
And what do we have? 1,600 people a day in this country are dying from cancer.
In carnivore, I've been 460 days now. I'm down over 100 pounds since my heaviest. Overcame depression, anxiety, sleep apnea, reversed my congestive heart failure, irregular heartbeat, IBS. I don't snore anymore. So fat. Really, look. Do you see this? This fat and this fat right here. All of this fat right here. Does it make me look fat? I feel incredible. I feel amazing. I feel so good right now too, by the way.
Dr. Baker is going to be amazing.
You want to get that leg there? I'll get his right arm.
Right? His right arm.
Which way did this go? Yeah. Up.
1, 2, 3. Awesome! Love it!
Wait, thumbs up.
Gotcha!
One of the things that drives me nuts though is when I hear people say, I could never do carnivore like you. I just couldn't give up my food. It's just too good. I love me some ice cream. I love me some Doritos. I could never do what you're doing. And I think it's crucial to understand the result of that decision. Your life is a result of the decisions you make. And people say that so flippantly, like, I could never do that. But there are huge repercussions to making that decision. I think people should have a contract they have to write out with themselves. Essentially, you are making a crucial and important decision and agreement with yourself when you are deciding the path to go down. I'm gonna choose the path of garbage, highly inflammatory, processed foods that my body was never intended to eat, and that has repercussions, or I'm gonna choose this other path. I want to talk about some of those repercussions, and the first one is this one. This is going to be harsh. I don't care. This is the truth. The truth matters. Jen and I recently we're going to another funeral. We've lost 2 loved ones before their time, and these decisions we're making have crucial repercussions. So the very first one, and I think the reason that Jen decided to do carnivore with me is, if you're gonna say, I could never eat like you're eating, I have to have my ice cream and my donuts and my french fries and my garbage food, you are saying to yourself, I am choosing this food over my spouse. I don't wanna live long and grow old with my spouse. I would rather prefer to eat this junky food because I'm not addicted to it. That's the truth. That is the reality. You are gonna die at a younger age because you chose this food over your spouse. And the remainder of your life, which is gonna be much shorter now, average life expectancy is 73, you're going to have, as a man, you're going to develop man boobs. Hi, Carrie Man here. Are you tired of having man boobs? Introducing the all-new Carnivore Diet. Your testosterone, it's gonna be on the ground. My testosterone right now on carnivore, it's through the roof. So you're gonna be a shadow of a man with man boobs and low testosterone. Women, sadly, they suffer PCOS. They suffer fertility issues. Men's sperm counts are lower now than they've ever been. Fertility issues in the world right now, it's a crisis. It's grim out there right now, and it's all tied 100% to the foods we're eating. If you don't believe me, do your own research. Research Dr. Robert Kiltz.
Call it the Babies for Babies diet. If you want to make a baby, bacon, eggs, butter, beef, fatty meat, and make love to your partner. That is it. Inflammation is caused by a plant-based, low animal fat diet.
So you're going to have a much reduced lifespan. average life expectancy is 73. I believe this is the biggest tragedy of mankind right now. It should be in all the newspapers. It should be all the news. We are barely making it into our 70s, and we should be thriving into our 100s. We're barely getting to 73 with mobility issues, all sorts of disease if we make it that long, and we're happy that we make it there when we should be thriving into our 100s easily. So reduced lifespan, I want you to have a contract. When you say, I would rather eat this junky food than do carnivore because I like it too much, you are saying, I'm not going to grow old with my spouse, I'm going to die at a young age, I'm going to suffer, and I'm willing to accept that. When that happens, and you're in your 70s dying, you need to remember that that was your decision. The second big thing, this is going to be harsh too, I'm sorry, but the truth matters. You are an example to your children. You are an influence to your children, and what you do, your children will follow.
What we do in life echoes in eternity.
Your children will follow in your footsteps, and as a result of your decision, your children are going to do the same things. So your children, they're going to have learning disorders, they're going to have ADHD, they're going to be horribly anxious, they're going to end up with depression, they're going to be pre-diabetic, and then later in life, they're going to end up with diabetes. They're going to be chronically inflamed and suffering. Their immune system's going to be weaker, and overall, they're going to have a poor quality of life. They're going to die younger, and they're going to end up with disease, all sorts of chronic diseases. 80% of the diseases that humanity dies with are completely avoidable, and they're diseases of nutrition. Most of them are from being chronically inflamed, eating toxins, seed oils, highly processed food. We're eating highly inflammatory foods, we're getting highly inflammatory symptoms, and we're dying from highly inflammatory chronic diseases. It's very simple. So your children, they're going to suffer a much reduced lifespan. They're going to have diabetes. They're going to have, maybe they're going to lose a limb from the diabetes. Chronic inflammation for long enough leads to cancer. They'll probably get cancer. And the truth of the matter is, it's their decision, but ultimately their decision is highly influenced by you.
I watched my dad thrive too. He was overweight, very unhealthy. He had depression. He would take so much medicine. He would always be tired. And right onto carnivore, he stopped snoring. He stopped taking all of his medicine. He would just become like a much better person and was so energetic, and now he's helping so many people, so I really want to help others.
Quick interruption. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in learning more about our documentary, Healing Humanity, The Power of a Proper Human Diet, or supporting it, please visit donate.healinghumanity.movie. Our goal is to reach millions of people that are hopeless right now, and sharing the examples of real people over the course of 1 year that are undertaking a proper human diet to overcome obesity, type 2 diabetes, depression, anxiety, fertility issues. We couldn't do it without you. We thank you so much. We are also selling these shirts, Healing Humanity, The Power of a Proper Human Diet. Every penny we get from those goes towards the documentary. And last, we have memberships. If you click the little join button, it's best to do it on desktop. Under any one of my YouTube videos, you can join and become a member. We have hundreds of members right now. We do members only videos. We do members only behind the scenes. You can email me as a member and I'll answer you. And every penny from that goes to support the documentary. And the last thing is we have these Redmond's portable salt shakers. These things are awesome. You can get the best salt. You can take it with you. We sell these on the website along with our water bottles and cutting boards, and every penny from all of those goes 100% towards supporting the documentary. You can also sign up for our newsletter, which is completely free. All of these links are in the description below. Thank you so much for your support. Now back to today's video. And they're doing this from birth on, and at a younger age, they're getting addicted to sugar, which is an addictive drug that we've normalized. It sucks. It's true. My parents gave me sugar. I gave my kids sugar.
We evolved to eat fat. Sugar was always something we sought as a species. And now we've refined all of our foods to be loaded with a fuel that we always had very limited access to. So now we have a different metabolism, and that's what's chronic Alzheimer's. All these chronic diseases are linked in one way or another to this systemic inflammation. Cancer is just being one of them. And what do we have? 1,600 people a day in this country are dying from cancer.
But the truth of the matter is, it's a highly addictive drug. It lights up the brain like cocaine, and it leads to nothing but disease and illness, rotten teeth, depression, anxiety, all of these things. But we've normalized it. But the truth is, your kids are going to suffer and live a much shorter lifespan because of your decision. So keep that in mind when you're deciding, well, I could never eat that way, I like my food too much. You are deciding for your children as well. The third thing, I touched on this a little bit, but cancer. I interviewed Professor Thomas Seyfried. He's been talking about cancer as a metabolic disease for 30 years now. Do your own research, don't listen to me, but your body is chronically inflamed from the foods you're eating. Most cancers in the world right now are from chronic inflammation. Everybody eats, and most of the world is chronically inflamed from the foods you're eating. Yes, you can get cancer from smoking cigarettes. Yes, you can get cancer from breathing in toxins. All of those things are true, but I believe most of the cancers in the world right now are because people are chronically inflamed for years and years, which turns into decades and decades. You get cancer.
600,000 a year are dying from cancer. And it goes up and up and up every single year. Now you tell me what the hell is going on with this, right? This is a tragedy of monumental proportions. And it's getting worse. In China, they're losing 10,000 a day. It's taken over heart disease. So you think these experts know what they're talking about? If they did, why is this happening?
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And you, by choosing to eat this horrible food that creates chronic inflammation, you are deciding, I am willing to accept the fact that I will probably die from cancer, it'll probably shorten my life. You're willing to make that exchange, that's your decision. Poor metabolic health. You are choosing poor metabolic health over good metabolic health. Everyone in the world is so concerned with, well, what about cholesterol? You're going to clog your arteries. Well, you are 7 times more likely to suffer heart disease if you have poor metabolic health. By eating this horrible food, you are choosing poor metabolic health. You're choosing heart disease. So when you're in the throes of a massive heart attack and it feels like there's an elephant sitting on your chest and you're gasping for air and it's possibly the end of your life, you may survive the heart attack. Understand this. You wanted this. You chose this. You said, I would rather eat that food and suffer the consequences. And here you are, having a massive heart attack. And am I being dramatic here? Heart disease is the #1 killer. People are suffering heart disease and heart issues and heart attacks now more than ever throughout humanity. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. Now let's talk about your decision to eat this horrible food. You are deciding that you are going to suffer into old age. Okay? You're going to have arthritis. You're going to be sore, aches and pains. You're going to have a weakened immune system. So your life from this point forward, you're going to have headaches. You're going to have migraines. You're going to have colds and flus. You're going to constantly be sick. Do you guys remember what happened during 2020? Who was affected and sadly died mostly during pandemic of 2020? People with poor metabolic health, and that's what you're deciding to do. You're deciding, I'm willing to accept a weakened immune system. I, as a carnivore, I haven't been sick one time in 460 days. I'm absolutely thriving. Why? Because my immune system is stronger now than it's been throughout my entire life, because I'm not putting all these toxins and seed oils and garbage into my body. My body is in a state of inflammation. It's in its natural state it was intended to be, and therefore my immune system is strong. So in terms of old age, yeah, you can expect to make it to about 73. You're going to be a burden on your family. It's harsh. This whole video is harsh, but this is the truth. This is the decision that you made. I'm willing to be a burden on my family. You're going to end up probably in an assisted living or nursing home, probably drooling, and you'll die at 73. That's the average life expectancy in the United States. People are barely getting to 73, and they're happy to get there, drooling. And the good thing is, the good news in this harsh reality is, you probably won't even know yourself anymore at that point, because you'll probably end up with dementia or Alzheimer's disease.
Chronic Alzheimer's, all these chronic diseases are linked in one way or another to this systemic inflammation.
Which again, they're calling it type 3 diabetes. It's from the foods we're eating. It's from chronic inflammation for years and years. You end up with dementia, you end up with Alzheimer's, but you're willing to accept that because you like your food too much. You like your ice cream and your french fries and your garbage food too much. That at some point when you have dementia and Alzheimer's, if you still have the ability to think through this, you may have a little window of time where you can realize things. You'll probably think back and think, gee, was it really worth it? Was the food worth it? Was all of that ice cream and feeling bloated and sick and farting and my stomach was gurgling and bubbling all the time? Was that worth the ice cream? Is the dementia right now worth the ice cream? Is taking my last breath at 73 worth the junk food? I have a feeling you're gonna have regrets at that point, but it's easy to say right now, let's just do whatever and eat all of this junk food. So you're gonna have a shortened lifespan. You may end up with fatty liver disease. You may end up with skin issues. Depression, anxiety is a huge one. I suffered with suicidal ideation most of my life. You probably already have the anxiety. Well, that's just gonna get worse and worse as you continue to eat this way. If the depression gets worse like mine did, you'll end up constantly thinking about different ways to off yourself. It's a horrible, harsh reality, but when you look in the world right now, I interviewed Harvard-trained psychiatrist Dr. Georgina.
We've got nearly 1 billion people on the planet with a mental health disorder. It is grim. I mean, it can't explain the skyrocketing worldwide increase in mental health disorders of all kinds. None of us is untouched by this now. We often say, okay, you need anti-inflammatories, you need antioxidants. We don't stop to think, well, what is causing the inflammation and the oxidative stress in the first place?
There's 1 billion people right now suffering from mental health issues, and it's all from...
What are the root causes of these root causes of psychiatric problems? And so when you look at the standard diet that most people are eating, this standard American diet or the SAD diet, there are so many ingredients in that diet, which we know there's good science behind this, directly promote and powerfully promote inflammation, oxidative stress, insulin resistance, and even nutrient deficiencies. So
the foods we're eating. So all of these things, I am sorry, they are harsh, but the truth matters. When you make the decision that, well, I just like these foods too much, I could never give them up, these are the things you're deciding. This is the contract you're making, whether you're writing it out or not. This is the agreement you're making. This is the deal with the devil that you are making. And your life is a result of the decisions you make. These are the repercussions. So you're willing to not grow old with your spouse and loved one because you like the food more than you like your spouse. It's a harsh reality, but that's the truth. You're willing to set your children up for all of this failure and all of this suffering that you yourself are about to experience. That is the truth. And you are willing to die an early death in your 70s, barely getting there with mobility issues and brain fog and all sorts of illness and sickness that gets you to 73 years old. And as you're taking your last breath, do you believe this to be true at that point in your life, which, by the way, blink your eyes right now, open them up. It's going to be a blink of your eye before you're taking your last breath on this earth. At that point, are you going to say to yourself, I'm glad I made that decision to eat this junky, horrible food. It is worth it now, ending my life short 30, 40 years before I could have, in sickness and disease. That was all worth it for some frickin' ice cream and Doritos and popcorn and garbage food that, by the way, every time you ate it in the past, you thought you wanted it, and then the day afterwards you suffered with farting 500 times, stomach issues, all sorts of inflammation. Oh, my shoulder hurts. It's all the foods you're eating that were highly inflammatory. Do you really believe that when you're 73 years old, taking that last breath of air, the very last breath you take, your heartbeat beats its last beat, you're gonna say, I'm happy with that decision, that I ate that junk food and that I chose that junk food over my spouse and over my children and over everything. Your health is the only thing you have in this world. Without good health, you don't have your spouse, you don't have your children, you don't have anything. And all of us are choosing poor health foolishly. And you're a fool if you make that decision. It's the harsh truth, it's the reality, but it's the truth, and I have to speak the truth. So I hope that this helps you. I hope that maybe you could send this to your loved ones who are saying, I just like my food too much as they're suffering, because they're in this endless loop, they're in the circle of death, they're in this brain fog, and when you're in the fog, you can't see it. And I don't believe they truly realize the harsh realities, the repercussions of these decisions they're making. Ultimately, it's your decision. It's your life. You can choose the junk food and you can roll the dice and you can suffer a short and miserable life, or you could choose health and you could choose to treat your body as a temple and put your health first, and you can live a long and healthy life thriving with your loved ones and your children and your family. Ultimately, it's your decision. If this video helped you, I hope you share it. If you think it'll help one of your loved ones that are in the brain fog, drunken stupor saying, I'd rather eat Doritos than live long with you, maybe send this video to them. My goal in life, my purpose in life is to help the hopeless. I'm trying to do that through this video. I'm trying to do it through our documentary I'm putting together. And I hope we're going to change the world with this documentary. We're going to reach millions of people. We're going to help the hopeless. But we couldn't do it without you guys. So if you're willing to donate to our documentary, please visit donate.healinghumanity.movie, or you can buy our Healing Humanity shirts, our portable travel size Redmond salt shaker, so you can have that good, clean salt. We've got water bottles, we've got cutting boards for sale, and every penny from all of that. And if you become a member on my channel, if you like this video, you want to see more, we got members only content. Only goes out to our members. Become a member. Click the little join button under any one of my videos. It's best to do it on desktop. You can become a member for like $3 a month. I answer members only questions first. We do members only videos, but more importantly, every single penny from those memberships, every single penny from the donations, every single penny from the t-shirts goes 100% to our documentary, Healing Humanity, so you can help reach the hopeless. There's too many hopeless people in the world right now that don't need to be. I hope this video helps you. If you were hopeless, I hope it helps you or one of your loved ones or family members. Thank you so much for watching.